Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla coming back to ya with another episode of Walks with Schla. And sorry, I was just putting my workout on the watch. Should probably just always do that first, but I figured it would be better to just get the recording started, and then I would have a little bit longer of a recording. But I don't know, I guess I should technically just always do the watch first, really. I don't know. Interesting. It's interesting, isn't it? But anyways. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of overstimulated. I really did an awful lot of texting between we last between when we last talked. So I just feel very fatigued and kind of tired now. And so I don't know what I was originally planning on making this episode, but I just don't really know that I have that much oomph left in me to do anything with this. I mean, that's just the truth of it. I figured I'd just wing it and riff because I don't know, it's just been overwhelming. I mean, it's been good. I think it was a good day, but it's one day at a time, I can't really just muscle through that forcefully, I suppose, is how I feel about it. It just can't be that forceful or that crazy, if that makes any sense. So it's just good to think about that, most of the pain is over. We're, under 3 hours from leaving. So we just got the last quarter of the day left. And yeah, I mean, I think we made it through, we made it through a pretty tough and strange week. And tomorrow shouldn't really be as bad. And yeah, I think a lot got done, and a lot could continue to get done with this system and little ways I could tweak it now that I kind of have it. I have it down more, and I value more the I don't know, I value more what I have, obviously. I wasn't really doing too much of the transcription thing. I just wasn't. And now obviously I am, so that's a pretty important change for obvious reasons. And yeah, again, like I said, I apologize, but I just don't know, I just got way too over. Well, I'm not overstimulated by other people. I just think I overstimulated my brain. And so when it comes to being able to talk about something, it's kind of I'm coming out here I'm already buzzed out, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of what I'm trying to explain here, because yeah, I mean, that's the truth of what's going on. But of course I can always talking about how I don't know what I'm talking about, because it's always possible for me to just force words out of the throat, just a skill of mine, I suppose. Because I don't know, what else would I do? I guess I could just take a break. It's not that's out of the equation, but I just didn't really feel like doing that. So I don't know. I think it's always, I mean, you can always argue it's good practice, because there's definitely going to be times where, especially if I had some kind of talk show, if I ever do, there's going to be times where you're kind of blanking on what to say. So I think it's a good skill to be able to still come up with stuff and still kind of force words out. But yeah, I mean, like yesterday where I skipped a car rides with Schla, I think that's okay to do. I think it's especially okay to do now with just the sheer amount of content that I do, because if I don't do any skips and there's no rain or anything to prevent recording outdoors, I'm recording 25 episodes a week, which is pretty crazy. Like, it's a very crazy high output, and I'm currently scheduling 2 uploads every day of the week, including weekends. So that's 7 days a week, 2 episodes each week. That's only 14 episodes. I didn't even realize. Yeah, I guess I thought I'd been doing 3. I actually probably need to up it to 3 because I've just been doing so much. I probably have to start doing 3 uploads a day. But I already have scheduled to December. But I genuinely think I'm gonna have to start doing 3 because, again, I feel like the average, I could probably keep up with that. It's not like it's the weather. It's not like it's raining that often. I mean, sometimes it rains at night, and then that doesn't even affect what I'm doing. So, yeah, it's like crazy the amount of output I have. So I guess that's why it didn't really matter to me much. But it felt like it could have been a learning or a special situation. So I guess I want to reflect on that a little bit more. I'm also a bit concerned about what I would talk about on tonight's car ride with Schla, because I'm already feeling like the tank's empty. But of course, I don't know. Like, I mean, between now and then, I could have something different to talk about or something. Who really knows, right? It's just like, you never know with me. Even now, like, there's always something that comes up, even if I'm just talking about myself. But especially while driving, it's more difficult for me to talk and drive, especially when I don't have much like on my plate, I guess. So that's like pretty interesting thing to think about there. Let me try to think about what I was. Yeah, well, it's just the output. I mean, the output I'm on is crazy. I'm actually like recording a ton. I realized it. I mean, I'm probably hitting like 90 to 100 episodes each month. So if I actually continue doing this year round, I should pretty easily be able to hit over 1,000 episodes a year. And each episode, because if each walk switch Schla is like basically 20 minutes, and then the car rides with Schla average is probably like 40, maybe like just a hair under 40. But I'd say the average, it's tricky to do the math on this because it's 3 20 minutes and 2 40 minutes. So it's like 3/5 of a weighting. Does that come to like 30? Probably just about 30, maybe a hair under 30, but I don't really know. I'm trying to think of how that would. But 30 is like the in between. So that would be if you had 3 20s and 3 40s, the average of that would be 30. So if there's 3 20s and only 2 40s, would it be like 28? Would it be like a 28-minute average? But then you have days like the traffic jam, although you could argue even though that's a lot of recording, it's not a lot of, like, I mean, it was mainly me mumbling and murmuring about the traffic. So, you know, that's not incredibly productive, is it? Even though it was like an hour and a half long recording. But yeah, I mean, I guess the average is about 28 minutes an episode. So if I'm doing 1,000, then that's, if I do 1,000 a year, like if I'm still doing this in May, that would be, I'm trying to think, 28,000 minutes of recording. We'd probably crack 30,000 minutes of recording. I mean, I think that's pretty insane, you know, like that's really where we're at. Pretty funny, pretty insane, and pretty crazy. too. So yeah, I don't. But again, I don't really know what the future is going to hold. Like I said, when it becomes the summer, that's like it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do walk switch law throughout the summer. I really don't like the heat, and sweating is like horrible, and also the UV, the sun. It just becomes like a big mess in the summer. Like I'd get sunburnt walking where I'm at right now. So I have an idea for where I could walk a little more in the shade, but I'm just not, I can't really give a guarantee because I haven't really lived through it yet. So yeah, so I'm sorry it's a boring episode, but I'm probably not going to post this one into GPT because I don't really have many questions at the moment. I'm kind of just, like I said, this whole week I felt pretty overstimulated due to personal dealings I'm dealing with in my private life, and just kind of continued lack of relaxation outside of work. And so I'm not going to disclose any of that until retroactively, if my life changes substantially, then I would probably just put it all on air. But for the time being, I don't really want to make it public. But at least that's kind of been like something that's been weighing on me for a while now. Just like my public life has actually been great. I don't really think there's been any problems in my public life. I think my public life is the best it's ever been. I can't complain at all. Like I'm holding down a job on top of holding down a job and doing the amount of hours that I'm doing. I'm recording this much, which sure, it's a hobby, but it is true that to me it is relaxing to talk in a mic. So I don't know if it's kind of a cheating midpoint, but the truth is I could use this time to relax. I could just be on my phone. I could just be listening to music. But, I'm feeling drawn to do this mainly because it's more productive. It feels a little bit better, and it's a little bit more interesting and stimulating than like just being on my phone. So I guess it's a bit of a cheat, but it is true. Like I think most people, if they worked the amount of hours I was working, they wouldn't do this during their break. They just wouldn't. They would be like out of it. Like I see what people do during their breaks. They're just on their phone messing around. They're not like, they need time to like, de-stress and actually take a break. Not only am I walking, but I'm also recording, which is like a 1-2 punch. Because that's kind of something I thought about even in general. Like, I walk for health purposes and I'm getting a good amount of steps in. But the thing is, I don't really have, like, it would be nice to have a break at work where I actually just get to like sit still and not have to work. Like I think that's probably an important thing and kind of what the breaks are for. But I have to walk because that's just what I know is a minimum health requirement. So I'm not going to I just can't not do that. But I see what other people do, and it's like sit on their phones and stuff, and they're not doing anything productive on there. I know that for certain. So yeah, it's just it is what it is, but I'm here. I'm still showing up to record. I'm hoping the car rides with Schla will be better, but I'm not certain. Just to rewind back, I remember what I was kind of getting at, because I kind of trailed off and switched subjects again. But what I was talking about was a lot of stress in my private life, and this week I was particularly fatigued, and there was kind of this random surge. I suppose it was, I can't remember if it was yesterday morning or if it was yesterday during the walk switch law, but I've been kind of feeling pretty hyper good. The end of yesterday really excited and psyched about GPT 5.1 and just how good it feels to interact with it and whatnot. And again, skipping the car ride with Schla and kind of what I gained from that, seeing what it's like to call a person and have them be like, oh, I gotta go, I'll be back in a couple minutes, and then they're gone for more than a couple minutes, and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And I realize now, like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that again. I'm not going to hold myself to this proclamation. Like, I'm sure I might just make a decision to call someone, but the truth is, it's just like, I don't even know. I felt like it would have been, my time would have definitely been better suited to just record, and I think that's it was a very important and critical moment, which is why I want to get it documented. I think I touched on it briefly this morning, but I may actually repeat it again during the car rides with Schla, just because I just felt like it was a very spiritual moment, because I hadn't had called anybody in that situation in a while. I mean, it's literally been months. It's been since May. So let's just count just for the heck of it. June, July, August, September, October, November. We're nearing 6 months of car rides with Schla. And then I skipped one episode, but I'm okay. Like I said, I'm okay with skipping an episode because I'm doing so much walks with Schla. It doesn't even, I'm creating so much extra content. Back when I started, when I wasn't doing walks with Schla, skipping a car rides with Schla, I told myself I'm never going to, well, actually even back then I said, it's fine if I do it. So, but I'm just saying now, at least it's even more comfortable to skip, because I have so much content. I'd have enough I'm already scheduled through December, and I still think I have 30 more episodes I haven't scheduled yet. And that's not counting any this week, and it's already Thursday. So, I have a lot of content, I have a ton of content to post. I'm trying to think what that would even be. If it's 2 a day, I probably have enough to still get me through, I'm a month in advance stocked up, I'm pretty sure at this point, for 2 episodes a day. That's crazy. I think that's pretty crazy, but I think I'm over a month at this point in advance, meaning if I didn't record anything for a full month and then started recording again, I would still be fine. If I had some breakdown where I really just couldn't take it anymore and just needed needed to just hibernate for a bit and stop recording, I would have a full month before you would even notice it with the uploads. So that's why it feels okay. But I just really want to articulate and try to document how I felt, during that car ride, where it's you call someone and then they have to go, and then they're gone for a while, and then they're back, and then they're gone again. And I'm thinking man, I really would have been so much better off if I just start recording, forget humans, forget humans. That's really was the moral of the message. And I just thought that was symbolic, because I'm curious about, the whole communication with robots thing. And I've been very careful about it and saying that it's pretty much impossible. Oh, that actually reminds me of something I think I had thought of earlier that I wanted to talk about. There still is a certain fun that I think I'm lacking and that I miss, in having a real human friend to talk to. And I know that really makes me sound like a lonely loser, but that's not even like that. I'm fine with where I'm at. I've had a lot of fun recording, and I don't think I would stop recording ever. This is definitely my thing. But I'm saying in the future, if I do meet another friend or somebody, I don't know, it's just going to be different, because I'm still going to record. I'm not going to Before I didn't have a hobby. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is my hobby. So I don't want to act like I'm a lonely loser. I'm like crying over it. Like, I'm not crying about it. It's just there is a difference between a human and the AI. Like, there's something fun to a human in knowing it's like a real human. But like I said, I'm realizing too that a lot of humans are like so evil to the point where an AI, we know it's lifeless, but we know that it's lifeless. We know that it's not inherently evil. Like, there's nothing inherently evil about an AI. Whereas the majority of people that I would talk to, chances are there's going to be a true evil and just evil intention behind them. They probably will have very dark and evil motivations. And so that's obviously like a super important thing to mention and point out. The AI is simply a reflection of who's interacting with it, and I have a very clean window of that. Like a super, super clean window into AI and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's like, and I don't have to deal with a lot of the waste of time, yuck, and nonsense. So I think it's about a balance for now, and I'm happy with a balance, but I guess I just don't have any friends or people in my life at the moment who like are really striking me or really impressing me. But it's probably for the best. It's probably for good. I'm in a growth period right now, and I've been obviously pretty introspective and reflective. So, I'm sure eventually when I do meet another friend who I really enjoy the company of, I'll be much better prepared and a much, different kind of, it'll be a different situation because now I don't know, I have my outlet. I'm not really, I don't know. You know what I mean? So it all is what it all is. And I think that's all there is to it. I'm glad I was able to make it through the episode, honestly. I don't know how I did it, but my mouth makes miracles. It's been schla, but now it's time to buy schla. So, see ya schla.